Hey y'all, it's fall. I love fall. It's football, volleyball, decorating, leaves, pumpkins, cooler weather. Hopefully, we haven't gotten it yet, but we are. But I went very simple on my front porch. I really did not want it to be real fussy. First of all, I didn't have time for fussy. And also, if you remember when I cleaned out my attic, I cleaned out a lot of fall stuff. But I just put out some pillows that I had. I bought a few things from Rustic, but to the best of my knowledge, I didn't buy anything new. I repurposed. So I made the lanterns a little lighter gray, and I sprayed this. It was white. I made it a darker gray so that the white and the orange would pop out here. And I have my little hanging that I got. I've had it 2 or 3 years, and I don't remember if I've had it out or not before. And then, of course, the little wreath. I didn't put anything on my doors this year. I wanted to see how I liked that, and I think I kind of like it. But here we go into the entrance. Forgot to turn this light on for you. Here again, very simple, and you're going to notice I have done quite a bit of white painting in my house. I just wanted it brighter, and one day I was painting a piece of furniture. I got some paint from Rustic, as I told you about, and I went crazy. Bucky said, "Are you going to paint everything?" I said, "Nah, just about it, but not everything." But I just simply made a vignette here on this piece. The white makes it pop so much better. And I used the pumpkins that I had, and I propped them up with a book. And I just added my acorns and my sunflowers. These actually came from the Dollar Tree. And they did come this year, okay? I did get something. I lied. And these, if you remember last year, I showed you how to do these. I like to put those all around. This garland is, anytime you find a natural looking garland, I don't care what time of year it is, snap it up. Because the natural looking garlands are so easy to work with. They just kind of blend a whole lot better than if they're a garish color. I found that crock outside. It was my grandmother's. I say it was my grandmother's. I found it outside. Mama may have bought it somewhere, but I found it out in my barn with all the stuff Mama left. And I just put in, you know, our lotus that we have. These are the seed pods from them. So I just tucked it all down in there. And wouldn't that be great to put live sunflowers in if you had company? Here's another piece that I painted. And then here again, I just did a vignette here. I just contained what was on there. Now, I didn't do that everywhere, but I did these 2 places. I didn't find it. Mary gave it to me. This basket it's an old French flower gathering basket, she said. So I loved it. And I just took a bunch of natural stuff in there and put my white pumpkins in there. I did do quite a bit of white this year. I did. And then when I added the natural, your eye kind of pops. Even though that's gold, it gives the look of being a natural. So your eye kind of pops around here and it doesn't get distracted with another color. And the same thing with my shelving. Now, I have a disclaimer here. I have some other things to do, but I wanted you to have the majority of it. When I do it, I'll do a little short about it. I do want to put some lighting in there, and Bucky is going to build that up so that my Canada goose stands up a little further. But I'll talk a little bit about it. As I was up in the attic, I found this painting I did, back a long time ago. And it's really one of my favorite. Now, I know it's a winter scene, but these colors kind of bring out that fall colors that I wanted on there. I did have an inspiration piece, which I'll show you later on here what it was. So, and it had that color in it. But I think it kind of looks cool there. I kind of like that. And then, you know, I keep this out with my glass balls, floating balls that I got when we were in Iceland. And I just put a little, this is just laid on there. It's not arranged in any way with a pumpkin on there. Now I got this from Rustic. And I'm on the fence about painting it. I really want to paint it, but I don't want it to be solid. So I'm kind of out to lunch on that. I'm gonna have to think about that a minute. But as you see, it's kind of dark up under there. So I'm going to order the lights. I should have already had it done so Bucky could have it ready, but I did not. So it'll get there. And also, as I was rummaging around, I found these are fake antler little, I guess, little candle holder. So I thought that was just real open and airy. And then here again, I just have a little simple string. These are not real, but you could go outside and find a great grapevine wreath or muscadine wreath. Any of those would be great. And there's my lady that Brandon gave me many long years ago. I love to always put her little hat on. And I just mixed the colors of white and cream in there to kind of pop her out a little bit. These I painted for my dad long time ago. This is toll painting, one of my favorite types of art to do. At one time, I painted on everything that didn't move. One has flowers and one has fruit, but he kept it up next to his chair until he died. And I kind of popped off. I don't want everything to be matchy-matchy, but if you'll notice, even though it's 3 different compositions, one is tin, one is, don't know what that is. It's probably a composite of some sort. And then this is a cement. But they're all basically kind of the same shade, but not really. So I kind of keep that in mind. Same thing down here. You've got the dark here, and then the dark in the picture too. Now up here was a different story. I could not come to peace with anything, but I finally did. I kind of like it. I like my fish bowl up there. So I just put leaves up under it to kind of make it pop a little bit. I like this green in there because, you know, in our area, it's not always all fall colors like it is if you're up in the northeast. It's just everything is a color. So I like that kind of green that looks like it's faded away. And then those are the 2 geese I did. And I also, they were black, they're iron. And I just took some silver and gold and rubbed it on there. And it turned out really, really nice. Now here's the area that I really struggled with. I did know that I wanted to use white in there. So these are all pumpkins that I had except for one. I did buy that one at TJ's. The candle holders I got at Rustique. And also this one, that little candle holder too. And I got that little pumpkin there and I painted it to match. I didn't paint it to match because I didn't want it to match. I wanted it to blend with this one. And I also wanted it to blend with the natural acorn that's there, or pumpkin. I don't know. I call it a acorn. Bucky said it was a pumpkin. So I redid my lanterns. I painted them white and put gold on them so that they would pop out. And then that's where the candle holders come in with gold. And that brown mimics it. And the pumpkins that I painted, there we go. They also mimic just about every color that's in the mantle. I guess you could say they were probably my inspiration in there. And I like the way that the natural colors pop off of each other. I did put a little picture in there. It's not showing very well, but it has the colors too. Now, these are the leaves that I cut from the garland. I didn't want a span of leaves. I wanted leaves, but I didn't want it to be just a huge conglomeration. I had the berries there. You could use anything there. I've had those for quite a while. And if you'll notice, if you'll go back into my fall, you're going to see most everything that I have out. I just put it in different places. I do. If I find a fall, something that I love, I will get it. But I'm pretty happy with what I have, just rearranging it. And I really enjoyed this. I had the wicker acorn and the wicker, I think that acorn came from Rustique. I think it did. I'm pretty sure it did. And I had the wicker pumpkin. I've had it for a while. And so I just kind of like the way that wicker looked. Okay, I'm going to swing you up here for a minute. Don't let me get you dizzy. If you'll look up there, I have wicker up there. That's the first time I've ever put anything up on top of that piece, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So I brought, don't let me make you dizzy. I brought it back over here, and that's just a piece of fabric that I had. It was just, it's a nondescript stripe, and also leftover flowers. I poked down in there. You can go outside and get limbs if you want. I've done that before. And then as I was putting everything up, I found that pumpkin. So I said, hey, he's that color. He'll work. He almost matches my floor. Then this is what I was going to tell you about. This is my inspiration piece, my inspiration color. As we go around, if you'll look, these colors are sprinkled everywhere. I just thought that was a nice, refreshing color for fall. It's got some of the, it still has oranges in it. It has different colors in it. I used that, and you'll see I even used some of the darker. This little vignette here has lots of gray and rust in it. And this is a painting I did a long time ago. I mean, like a long time ago, maybe 40 years ago. And it just blended so well with this whole thing. And I left Dad's antlers down into my papa's tool chest. So I just like the way that kind of did. And yes, I did paint it white. And I painted the gold knobs. So I told you I got crazy. This is the piece that I always fix for it to be brought up, because half the time we end up with things all over here. So I put it in a tray, and I found these gold trays at Home Goods. I have 2 of them, and I absolutely adore them. Those are old brass candles. I got those from Rustique. And I think I got the pumpkin last year or a year before last. And I like the fact that it's really airy. And I have a light in there for when it's nighttime. I put it in kind of like for a night light. And I did this. I put out my vintage Halloween. I just love this little piece. I made these. I had never done any. This is plaster of Paris. And I made that. No, it's not. It's that paper. I can't remember what it is. You crush it all up and get it wet, whatever it is. And we did those. And we did the little mouse. You've seen him before, too, with his little safety pin arms and legs. And painted him. He has felt ears and a felt hat. And I don't have the pattern for him. I did call Ruth, and someone wanted this pattern, I think last time I talked about him. But I called Ruth, and she said she saw the picture, and the best thing to do is to cut out your bottom and cut out 2 triangles and sew them together. And then this is felt and this is felt. But she put a piece of wire in there so you can wrap it around it. And then you made the felt ears. And we painted them, and then the little felt hat is just a circle with a tube on it. So that's going to be the best pattern I can give you all. But I've collected these a long time ago. I've had these quite a while. I haven't added to it. I did make the Halloween, HALLOWEEN. I did make those. I had the flu one year, and I wanted something to do, so I had scrap pieces, and so that's what I did there. I did want to show you the new butler's pantry. I painted it white. It was blue-gray. It was a darker gray. And I'm really enjoying it. So I lined up all of my little platters that I've bought at various and asunder places. Got Mama's little, I call it autumn. There's a name for it. I know that. And then I put my other brown and white, black and white, and my turkeys in here. So, have you ever seen my cross wall? This is my cross wall. I do. It's a great cross wall. Okay, I'm getting ready to go down to do some work, so I've got my stuff already here. But we're going to start backwards in the house. This is my you always have that place that doesn't work. Normally this just falls into place. Normally this is just easy to do. But I knew I wanted to use my pumpkin terrain here. And it is it's an orangey yellow, but I also wanted to have it very serene. And I'm not a serene person, so serene is hard for me. But I made it work. I brought in some of my brown and white. I put color in it. These candle holders I did paint. And those pumpkins, one of them, they're not alike. They're totally different. I just put them instead of candles on there. The little pheasant plate. I told you about that last year. Got it at TJ's. But here's what I did to keep your eye going. If you'll notice, most of the arrangement is going into the middle. It just comes in. It brings your eye in. And then over here, you've got the spout and the flowers also brings your eye in. So you're just kind of in your eye stays in where I want you to be looking. Because probably don't want you to be looking in my bedrooms because like it was last night, I had kids spend the night. So I never know if they make up their beds or not. But I did notice they did make up their beds. And then this is one of my favorite things, of course. It always changes, but never does. It looks different, but it's always the same stuff. I just arrange it. Every year I try to arrange it different. I don't go back and look at pictures. I just kind of let it happen. The carnival class was my grandmother's, and I have a collection. Someone told me that 3 pieces is a collection, but I have a turkey platter collection. Now, they don't look alike. But y'all, it's the same picture. It's just painted different. And it's different sizes. All 3 of them are a different size. I did not realize that. But anyway, I've got the foxes all there. I love that. One of the things I liked about this set of dishes is the fox. They look like fall because they do kind of start roaming around in the fall. And then this, even though it blends, it's not a set. It was what I had. And I found this table runner that was perfect. I found it at TJ Maxx. It was like $12. This little bowl, it's carnival glass. It came from Rustique. A lot of stuff I have comes from Rustique. This thing, teapot, it did. Okay, I want to show you a hint that I use all over the house, and I'll point them out as we go. This is a garland. I left it out here on purpose for us to look at. This is just a garland. Just a garland that you buy. I bought it at Hobby Lobby 2 or 3 years ago. But what I do is I don't use it as a garland. I take snippets off of it according to how big or how little I need. And I take snippets off of it and I use them in my arrangements. Like I have some there. And we're going to swing back around here. And I used some up in the butler's pantry. Oh, and those are my new pieces. By the way, I didn't tell you. The platter, the top, it's a soup tureen. Those are, and the little pieces, they came from Rustique, as did those pieces up there. And they were so inexpensive. I was so excited. Everything at Rustique, it just has a great price. And I'll show you later on the different things I did now. And this is a crewel piece that I did. Listen. It's a bell pull. I did that many long years ago. This is a piece that it's inspired from Miss Pat's house. Those candle holders she had caught my eye. But next we're going to go into the living room. I'm at the dining room. Now, I am going to tell you this. My house is very, very casual. It's very lived in. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be straight. I have 6 kids here yesterday coming in. And it's kind of a revolving door here with Bryson and her boyfriend and their friends, and then Braxton, his girlfriend and their friends. it's just not a perfect place. It's a place they can come in and relax. But I did my table, and after I got it done, I loved it. But it won't stay that way. If you'll notice, it's all laid out. Well, when we get ready to eat, I have to take that whole thing up. I got too excited. I love the way it looked. I wanted to use, this is a runner that I got last year. I love the colors in it, and I love the way it's airy, and I don't know, it just appealed to me. And I like the fact that it has the black and the lights in it. I painted this pumpkin. It was another color. And of course, I painted these smaller ones. I had the pears. They're a bronze. I left them that bronze. And this pumpkin, don't be afraid to raise things up, whether it's books. I found that, and I raised it up on there. And then my birch candle holders I haven't used in quite a long time that I really, really enjoy. And I didn't put chargers down or anything. I just put my plates down on there. I just kind of liked the way it looked. And that's what I did there. All right, now let's go into this little area. I put a little wreath around the deer. And I turned the light off so you could see the painting that I put. I'm gonna back up a little bit so you can get the whole corner here. This is Mama's kitchen table, and I just made it down, put it down as small as I could. This is where the kids normally eat. And of course, you know I have my green hutch. I love that green hutch. Like the color of it. I did not think that I would. When I bought it, I thought I would paint it, but the green is such a rich green. I've kept it. I bounced off the top and put some, I've never had anything up there, so I put that up there. But this painting, if you remember, I had my blue and white wreath there. And so I wanted something, a statement piece. I like a statement piece on that wall. And that's a painting that I bought a long time ago. And it's an oil painting. And I've just found out that I can clean it because this should be whiter. The blue should be bluer. And you can, I think the water down here would be a little bluer too. So I am going to clean that so it'll work better. And that's about my fall that I have. And I just want to ask you, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 4,000 by Christmas. I'm hoping I will. So please subscribe. And I am just off to my next adventure.